Well, if you were here at 6 o'clock, you know that we told you KXAN's Jim Swift will be retiring at the end of September.
Jim has spent 36 years here at this station, and many of them doing his signature on the Porch segments. But beginning tonight, we've asked him to comb through his archives and bring us another look at some of his favorite stories.
Now, we're calling this series Summer of Swift. Farewell from the Porch. To get things started, we'll head down to the newsroom and edit Bay 3, Jim Swift's home away from home.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to Edit Bay 3. To start things off, we'll head back to the summer of 2004. That's when I got curious about a new camp offered by the Texas Extension Cooperative Service in Manor. A camp aimed at teaching children how to really bug their dinner guests. It is mid-morning at the Texas Cooperative Extension's 4-H food camp, and Extension Agent Wizzy Brown is preparing a snack. And on the menu are some chocolate-covered crickets and some fried mealworms.
We'll save the insects for later for those of you that are braver souls. So here's plates. Come on up and help yourself.
Besides the campers, there were some invited guests present. A tarantula, for one thing, and some hissing cockroaches.
Spider.
Oh, and a scorpion.
Tucked in between those two rocks right there.
You see, the kids were signed up for a class on entomophagy, which comes from the Greek, entomon, meaning insects, and phagon, to eat.
What's the problem?
Indeed, despite the teacher's assurances that the insects would be saved for later, there was some concern.
I'm scared that I think that, there's bugs in salsa maybe, but I'm not sure.
So you think she mixed them together?
Yeah, and then she's gonna tell the kids after that they ate bugs.
Well, guess what?
Each fig, for it to be produced, has to have a pollination by a fig wasp, and the wasp gets trapped in the flower and it can't get out anymore, so all figs have a fig wasp in them, so that's definitely infested.
In fact, Brown read off a whole list of processed foods that the FDA allows to have some insect parts in them.
I'm swallowing it.
Which you would think would make the idea of a chocolate-covered cricket more palatable. You would think. But despite the setbacks, Brown persevered. Because, for one thing, insects have lots of protein.
Where are you going?
And for another,
They need to learn about other cultures, and I mean, just if they do go traveling across the world or meet people from other cultures, it is good for them to know that, I mean, it's normal for those people to eat insects.
Ain't this good?
Yeah, they're good.
and so we hung around for a while, eating our mealworms and crickets, each for our own reasons.
Well, I saw that they were dead, so then I decided I wanted to eat them. They taste good.
They taste good.
And I like to eat also.
Okay, so there's a worm right there.
And in the end, even the most squeamish among us learned that bugs go down best in peanut butter.
Worm gone.
Out on the porch, Jim Swift.
How is it?
KXAN News. And it turns out that bug eating appears to be catching on these days. Every summer, a group called Grow Your Own Groceries brings a bug-eating festival to Zilker Park. This year's event has already come and gone, but it will be back next summer. And now, let's head back down the hall to the studio.
So glad to see these stories again. That story from 2004, but we have more in our schedule. The Summer of Swift. Jim will pick out archive stories on the porch and otherwise, and we'll air them for you on Monday nights at 10, and then Wednesday and Friday nights at 6 o'clock, all the way through September.
And you'll learn a lot about the people of Central Texas throughout the past 36 years. Can you believe that?
Some stories, I don't know how he chose just 36 of them.
He's got a treasure trove back there, doesn't he?
Really does.
And 36 years has nothing to do with Channel 36.
No.
This just happened to be when he chose,
A nice
right?
symmetry.
It sure
Isn't
was.
it?
It really came
Meant to
together.
be.